Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Southeast Iowa Union Sports Talk Live, and even more live than usual because we are here early. Santa brought it early, for anyone who gets that reference. We have a crazy schedule, so we're bringing it to you a nice 30-minute, little condensed episode, even though the regular episodes are supposed to be condensed. A little early today, a little spring sports action. So I'm Andy Kretzinger, your host of Southeast Iowa Union Sports Talk. And I got my main man, Hunter Moeller, with me today. Hunter, how you feeling? Oh, yeah, Hunter's not here today. I'm flying solo. Hunter's on a golf course somewhere in Iowa City, watching the small school boys golfers. So got Nikki Brackett's over here on my right. It's all me. You're on Washington Live, Mount Pleasant Live, or Fairfield Live's Facebook, Washington Live's YouTube, or Washington Live's Spotify, video and audio. So it's an all Andy show. We're going fast. This is kind of the preview. Just see, we could have moved this show back a day or two, but we are going crazy with spring sports right now. Golf and track, especially this week. Heading up to state track on Thursday for Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It is a busy week. And we had our state qualifiers on Thursday. Hunter was in Mount Pleasant, where we saw a bunch of runners from Mount Pleasant, Washington, and Fairfield go on. I believe Washington led the way with 20 total selections, according to Hunter's story, which I'm reading on my phone slightly off camera. The Demons had a little bit of a disappointing thing happen on the boys' side. For everyone who's following the boys' track, we talk about Elijah Morris, who's one of our best track athletes in the entire area. For the boys, he had a little injury in the 100-meter hurdles, which he did qualify for, as did Will Davidson for Mount Pleasant. But the big disappointment going into this weekend is that he could not run in his other events. So two-time defending 400-meter dash champion will not be there for the Demons. He won't be able to run the 200, which he was a favorite in as well, or a relay. I don't know if he will be running. He's got, as I said, he pulled up after the 100-meter dash after qualifying. So that was tough, but Washington got a lot of the usual suspects through. Braden Hartman in both the throws. He is going. Josh Anderson in all four wheelchair events, 100, 200, 400, 800. It'll be fun to see where he ranks with the rest of the wheelchair athletes, along with Mid-Prairie's Jaden Stafford, who I'll get to a little later. We got Micah Reese in the 16 and the 32. I'm just speeding through these, by the way. I'm not going to get everyone because we've got like a million qualifiers. Logan McDowell had a big day in the 800. I think Hunter told me that was one of the highlights was McDowell getting in there in the 800. Alec Ulen for Washington grabbed the second spot in the 400-meter dash. That was a spot that would potentially could have been third, although Ulen ran a 51.08, so pretty darn good finish there. That was a spot that Morris could have been in as well. And Mount Pleasant is set up pretty good on the boys' side. Oh, we'll do Washington girls first. Grace Voss threw in the high jump, and Iris Dahl. Who's Iris Black? That might have been a kid from years ago or a movie character. Who's the? I don't even think Nick's on a video today. But who's the Harry Potter person?
Oh, that's
Sirius Black. Severus? I'm not a big Harry Potter person. I think that might be what was going. Iris Dahl in the 800 and the 1500. Of course, she is a freshman in the 4x8 for the Washington girls as well. We talked a little bit about how the Washington boys were really well set up team-wise before the Morris injuries. We had talked a little bit in previous weeks about how Mount Pleasant is set up team-wise, and Will Davidson, who's been their number one guy all year, qualified in four events. The Mount Pleasant boys shuttle hurdle is going on. Will Davidson's going on the 100 meters, the 110 high hurdles, and the 400-meter hurdles. He was another favorite in the 200-meter dash, but he didn't run it because it was too close to the 400-meter hurdle, so he was just trying to get him through in four events there. By the way, that's Bryce Wilson, Avon Trong, Gavin Kerr and Will Davidson in that shuttle hurdle. So that's 4 qualifications for the Mount Pleasant boys. Isaac Jarrell in the shot put will be going. Evan Trong in the long jump, 22 feet 8.5 inches for Trong. That is the number 1 mark in Class 3A right now. So Avon's number 1 there. As I said, Will Davidson, he's, I think, number 2 in the 110s, number 2 in the 400 meters. He was, I think, 14th in the 100-meter dash, but he was 9th at Drake in the 100-meter dash. So that tells you that he's got the potential to definitely be way up there in the 3A list. And then the 4x for Mount Pleasant, Gabe Feldman, Jacob Rickman, Isaac Reinders, and Ben Carthy made it. Girls side, Andy Scott gets there with a second place finish in the 100-meter hurdles, or the 100-meter dash. Sorry, Relena Van Buren, which I just realized that Hunter accidentally called her Relena Van Buren. Van Buren, of course, another school that we cover here on Southeast Iowa Union. So we'll have to fix that online. 4x1, Courtney Robb, Bailey Javis, Tristan Joel, and Andy Scott. 4x2, Kinley White, Bailey Jalis. We got Courtney Robb and Andy Scott. Fairfield's Ryan Giverson and Eli Zillman will be on the high jump. That's their best. The boys' high jump is their best. What's it called? Category. Event. I'm a little tired too. Event going this year. And then the 4x1 shuttle hurdle. Maya Lane, Lily Bergen, Haley Rainier, and Isabel McCready. Despite 3 of those girls from last year's shuttle hurdle team moving on to college, they get in. They got 3rd, but their time was fast enough. So that was all from the 3A meet. And should we? I wonder if we should split up track and go to commercial now. Let's do it. Let's split them up because we're going to be back with some track qualifiers from the 1A and 2A teams, and we have a lot of them. So we're going to go to commercial now, and I'm going to take my breath, catch my breath, and we'll catch it together. So we'll be back.
Federation Bank is a locally owned bank providing award-winning customer service. We believe that we are more than just a federation of banks, but a federation of communities, serving Brighton, Richland, Wellman, and Washington, Iowa. Federation Bank's highly skilled staff is here to make sure you are able to accomplish your personal and professional goals, whatever they may be. Federation Bank, your family bank.
Hospice isn't a place, it's a type of care that focuses on living. Servicing a 7-county area, the Hospice of Washington County staff of nurses, social work, hospice aides, spiritual and grief support, volunteers, music and massage therapists are able to provide free end-of-life care where the patient lives. We write wills, give consent for organ donation, but rarely is there a plan for what we would want the final phase of our lives. At Hospice of Washington County, we encourage our patients to be in charge of their healthcare decisions while maintaining quality of life.
Unbelievable amount of devastation. I've never seen anything like it.
We had a beautiful barn that was gone in 20 minutes.
Farm Bureau stepped up right away and said, hey, we got you and we'll be there for you.
We were taken care of. Now we could get on to repairing and rebuilding.
I tell everybody about Farm Bureau.
We're fortunate to say we have good coverage with good people doing it.
Contact Farm Bureau agents Tony Starr and Mike Welcher in Mount Pleasant today.
At the Capper Auto Group, we put our customers' needs first and understand that everyone is as different as the vehicle they select. We offer new Ford, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, and Ram vehicles in a friendly environment that puts you in the driver's seat. When it comes to service, we maintain factory-trained technicians and competitive pricing. The Capper Auto Group still believes that service after the sale provides the best customer experience. Come see the Capper experience for yourself.
Tammy takes the time and has the personal interest in each one of us. I don't worry about what's going to happen because I know my policy is taken care of.
She pulls what I need and puts it together, which is the program I get from her.
Every year she calls around September or so and says, there's changes again, and I'm going to do the best thing for you. It's been perfect. She does a great job.
Protection is important, especially when you're talking about your dreams, which is why we're going to keep you covered with plans that can save you up to 23% when you bundle your home and auto. That's protection.
Welcome back, Southeast Iowa Union Sports Talk live. We are so live, except for all you people that usually show up at 1 o'clock trying to watch it. You're watching this on replay because you probably, pulled up your computer and it's like episode's already over. We are talking a little bit of track and field action, state track and field meet Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I'm going to run through a few names here. I was at the Class 1A meet in Waco, Class 1A state qualifying meet. We have a lot of people moving on from that. Pekin and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 winners on the girls' side at Waco. Pekin is one of our teams that has a chance to score very, very high. I'll talk about that here in a little second. But Chloe Glosser in the 1500, Lauren Stiegleiter in the 3000, the 4x4, the 4x8, the distance med. Casey Miller in the high jump, and Anna Hadley in her first year high school track and field, freshman, shot put and discus. I believe she is second in shot put and discus in 2A as far as the qualifying times go. So those could be big points for Pekin. We were there for their medley win last year, right when we showed up to state track. They won about 5 seconds into Hunter and I showing up, and so we'll see if we can bring them some more. Good luck this year. Winners for Williamsfield Mount Union were the shuttle hurl team, Josie Nelson, Cariana Schurer, Tessa Houston, and Keaton Townsley. And for Highland, Sarah Burton won the long jumps. Burton is definitely a potential, top 3 finisher in the 1A girls high jump. In fact, or in the 1A girls long jump. And in fact, I didn't get a picture of her because I was waiting for her on the last 2 jumps. And I noticed that she was just kind of hanging out talking to people on the side. She had already jumped 2 feet better than everybody else. And some guy was like, "You're trying to take a picture of the Highland girl?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "I don't think she's gonna jump again." And she didn't. She scratched her last one because she was so far in with her first jump, 17 feet 7.5 inches. On the boys' side, and this is winners, by the way, there are other kids who have gotten in on times. Caden Emagon, 100-meter dash, 200-meter dash. Tristan Miller in the 110-meter hurdles. Talked to him right before he went out and ran it, and he told me he was going to break the. He said, "I'm about to go out and break this meet record." He did. 110-meter hurdle time of 14.10 seconds. Heavy favorite in the 110-meter hurdles for Class 1A boys. Columbus boys 4x1 team. Columbus boys shuttle. Basically the Columbus boys, and I'll talk about another team here in a second, but all those winners are like top 1, 2, 3 in Class 1A, so they could get a ton of points. New London, Ryland Martin, the 800, the D-Med team, Cade Benjamin in the high jump. Oh, Tristan Miller got second on the high jump. Cade and Tristan both jumped 6.6. Those are 2 of the top 3 jumps in Class 1A qualifying. Those guys could both be state champions. WMO boys, Gabriel Hemsworth, 400-meter hurdles. WMO's 4x4 team, sprint medley team, and the long jump. Cam Buffington will be starting things off at 9 a.m. sharp on. Well, he'll probably be in flight too, so I guess Cam won't be jumping at 9 a.m. But 9 a.m. sharp on Thursday. He's got a potential to be our first state winner, state place winner, what have you. Waco's 4x2 team 1, and Ole Sheffenstuck in the discus. And then we had a lot of at-large girls, a lot of at-large on the 2A side. I can't even run through all these, so you have to read the story because there is a mouthful. But I'll say on the 2A side, Mid-Prairie girls qualified about a million events, 100 dash, 200 dash, 400 dash, 800, 1500, 3,000. If you're keeping track and home, those are all of the runs and sprints that don't have hurdles connected to them. The shuttle team, the 4x1, the 4x2, the 4x8, the sprint medley, the high jump, the long jump, DMR, and if I missed one, they probably qualified in that one too. A few 2A boys, Isaac Lett of Cardinal in the 1 and the 2. 400-meter dash, Van Buren County's Anthony Duncan. Van Buren County, by the way, qualified in the 400 dash, the 400 hurdles, and the high jump. And I was looking through the Class 2A boys qualification numbers. Basically, anything the Van Buren boys qualified in, they are 1, 2, or 3 in the qualification times. That means they get big points if they repeat this next week. You can have 4 or 5 kids go up there, and if they all win, that's 50 points right there. So I think that Van Buren County boys are probably our dark horse a little bit to get a lot of points where people might not be looking for it. Weimern's also in the long jump. Mid-Prairie boys, basically everyone, including Jaden Stafford, who, like Anderson from Washington, 100, 200, 400, and 800 wheelchair. Cardinals DMR. Basically everybody. So that's I didn't say every single one of them, but basically, if you're paying attention to the state meet or you're going up and you're wanting to follow the Union area teams, there's not going to be much space to breathe because we are in everything. Every single event that is going on at the Blue Oval, we're going to have some athletes in. So that's my my track roundup. I will say on a personal note, I'm tired today because yesterday I was in Pella for the Class 3A boys district meet. I keep looking over at Nick because he's the only person in this room. And we have a return state qualifier in Washington's Roman Roth. Shot a 72 to win medalist honors yesterday at Boss Landon in Pella. There's so many nice houses in Pella. Did you see my, give me a thumbs up if you saw my Be Real. Was that funny?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was joking around on social media that I was buying up one of those houses because they're like $4 million houses right on the golf course. But Roman Roth, a 72 yesterday. He won the event by 5 strokes. Was not quite good enough to get Washington as a team. The Demons were 3A state qualifiers last year. And the fact they tied for 10th last year, but shot 328. Knoxville 324 and Williamsburg 322. So they were 4 spots off of that second qualification spot. The way it works is top 2 qualify unless the host qualifies. If Pella would have been second and then Washington would have been third, then the Demons would have went on because there's an advantage to playing on your home course. So they allow one more team if the host gets in. But that didn't happen. It was, and kind of the sentiment from Roman was he was happy to go, but he sure wishes that the team could have went. Drew Conrad shot an 80. This is off the top of my head. Drew Conrad shot an 80. Reginald Roth shot a 84. I believe Luke Beanblossom was next there. Maybe I can actually pull these up instead of just guessing. I think it was 91, 92, 97 for Beanblossom, Meyer, and Isaac Vetter. In fact, I'm almost 100% positive, so I'm not even going to look it up. That's just the facts. And Fairfield's Max Wheaton, senior, this is last high school golf outing. He shot an 83, so that was a little bit off top 2 go individually, and couldn't quite get there. I thought about calling Hunter to give us a 1A golf update, which would probably be pretty funny. It would be probably a pretty funny bit, but I'm just so frightened that he's got his phone on loud and that somebody's going to be in the middle of their backswing and it's going to be like, whatever his ringtone is, Who Let the Dogs Out. I'll just assume starts playing on your backswing and then they shank one into the trees. So we're not going to do that, but Hunter's at 1A right now. We got New London, Winfield, Hillcrest. We got individuals from Columbus. We got an individual from Highland. So we've got a lot of guys over there. And then the girls are tomorrow. We all know about Washington and New London, 2 of the best in their own right. Mid-Prairie was a Class 2A state qualifier last year, so we're going to be running around the state of Iowa. For the girls, state tournament qualifiers tomorrow. One of us going to be in Oski, I believe. That's where the 3A girls are. Washington, a big favorite to move on in that one. So that's all I got for you for golf right now. We're going to go to another commercial. We're flying by, just like we said. Nick and I are both on a short schedule today. I pinky promised him that we'd get this done in 30 minutes. So that basically means I got to lose my pinky. Is that what a pinky promise is? Yeah. Lose my pinky if I don't get this done in 30 minutes. So we're going to run 2.5 minute commercial or 2 minutes. I don't know. We didn't discuss this beforehand. But stick with us. We'll be back.
Family owned and operated by Andy and Sarah Ross, Ross Auto has been your vehicle repair and maintenance headquarters since 1935. We specialize in all makes of cars and light-duty trucks. With our variety of available services, let us help you keep rolling and your vehicle operating efficiently. Services include general auto repair, alignments, brakes, fuel injection, and more. Schedule your appointment today at 319-653-5656. That's 319-653-5656. Bring the kids and share the memories from steam engines, antique cars and trucks, tractors, gas engines, and horses. Maybe your memories are of great food from the North Village to the Log Village, or going to one of the amazing concerts. This is the place where memories are made. Make plans now to enjoy the history of the past at the 2023 Midwest Old Threshers Reunion, August 31st through September 4th in Mount Pleasant. Visit oldthreshers.com for more details.
At 5 Star Community Credit Union, we want to help you lead a better life. We offer competitive rates and convenient appointment times for all kinds of loans: auto, recreational vehicles, home equity, line of credit, holiday, and personal loans. We make it easy to build your credit and enjoy the good things in life.
We invite you to join 5 Star Community Credit Union. We are community-minded and member-focused. Come visit our locations in West Burlington and Mount Pleasant or online at 5starcu.org. Federally insured through the NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
At Brown Shoe Fit, we pride ourselves on traditional sit and fit service that's been serving the Mount Pleasant area since 1952. At Brown's, we have shoes for the whole family. From kids to adults, we carry the finest footwear for every occasion. Whether you're looking for something for work, casual wear, or exercise, we've got you covered. And don't forget about our selection of safety toe footwear for both men and women. Come visit us 6 days a week and experience the best in traditional sit and fit service. Brown Shoe Fit, where quality and tradition meet.
We are back. Southeast Iowa Union Sports Talk. You know what I should be doing in between the commercials is getting on. You notice I don't have my laptop here today. Getting on my phone, getting the next thing ready so I can talk about it. But you know what I do is just chat it up with Nikki Brackett's, eat my Gardettos here that I found in the office today. But we got a couple more sports to talk about. Oh, well, we got a few more because, long story short, summer sports are upon us now. But just want to say, in local tennis, we have the Maharishi girls the other day were the team that came out of the Battle Royale. That was the regional tournament in Fairfield. Maharishi hosted Fairfield High School, Mount Pleasant, and Davis County. Nick, have we talked about the 13-hour tennis meet? The singles and doubles? No, which Ashita Mukadam advanced to the state singles tournament on the girls' side on Wednesday, I believe. Hunter went to cover that. Luckily, he didn't cover every hour of that because they showed up at Fairfield Middle School 9 a.m. for this tournament. Now, the singles and doubles tournament, you play one or the other, but they had 9 schools there, and you get 2 per. So that's what 18 competitors per tournament, which is a singles and a doubles tournament. They play what they call pigtails, which are the play-in games to get in. And you might you might remember playing games from every time Iowa was in the Big Ten tournament until like 3 years ago, when we were always playing on that Wednesday game. So it started at 9 a.m. and it did not end until 10 p.m. That's a 13-hour tennis tournament. So Davis County and Maharishi are the 2 better teams of the foursome. And they had girls that had just played 13 hours a couple days early. In fact, one of the Davis County top players was not there because of that, because she had played so long and she was ill from the tournament. So it wasn't an easy day for Maharishi after playing all that to get through, but they did. Maharishi 5-0 over Fairfield at Punch Tennis Court, and then Mount Pleasant was defeated 5-0 against Davis County, a very good team over at Fairfield Middle School. They got together. This is on Saturday, by the way, 1 p.m. Maharishi, Davis County. It was supposed to be a close game, but Maharishi 5-0 over Davis County. So today, as we speak, Maharishi is all the way up in Assumption right now playing in the girls' tennis tournament. If they win that, they will be here on Friday. Not here, because technically we're physically in Mount Pleasant, but I'm talking about Southeast Iowa. In Fairfield, back at Punch Tennis Center to play either Pella or Pella Christian. So there we go. Maharishi boys also moved on. Did we talk about, now I'm losing my days. Did we talk about Haynes and Flanagan last week? We did. The Fairfield boys qualified beforehand. I had a little moment there where I realized I was going to miss something, but we didn't. So we talked about the boys. Last week, the funny thing about qualifying for the singles and doubles tournament, especially in boys, is you qualify at the beginning of May, and they don't even play that until next week. So We're still waiting on those. We had some soccer last night. Fairfield girls 2-0 losers to Centerville in the Class 1A regionals. That was a little quote-unquote pigtail. I never called them pigtails before, but in tennis they call them pigtails. That is when you have, let's say you have 10 teams and you have the quarterfinal set, but you need one team to go play. It's if you see the bracket. Like here's like 4 of them, boop, 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 boop. And there's one hanging out over here. It's a play-in game. I call them play-in games. They call them pigtails. Anyway, that was a play-in game. So the quarterfinals will start tomorrow. Mid-Prairie and Columbus. Also in that bracket, Washington will be hosting. Oh, why didn't I look this up? A match tomorrow against Clear Creek and Manna, I believe. Mount Pleasant's on the road. So we got girls soccer there. And then last night we also had boys soccer. Mount Pleasant lost to Solon 2-1. Solon's a pretty darn good soccer school. Mount Pleasant went 4-10 this year in soccer, but they had not won more than a couple games since the COVID year, I believe. So a big year under Rocco Rousseau and Mount Pleasant. I thought that they made huge strides for how many freshmen and sophomores they're playing, but 2-1 losers last night in that district at Solon. So soccer will be ramping up this week. We already talked about the other 3. So summer sports have begun, Nicholas. Baseball started last night. Fairfield was at Grinnell. They lost 3-1. They had a little rally. They entered the 7th inning down 3-0. Loaded the bases with 1 out. Hit by pitch, score, strikeout, and then a ground out to the shortstop with 2 outs. So couldn't quite pull that one off. 3-1 loss at Grinnell, but that's a pretty darn tough team to be playing early in the season. And Van Buren County 6-5 over Mount Pleasant, a walk-off winner. I'm about to go write that story, and I was trying to figure out who hit the walk-off because I didn't have that information, but that should be hitting our website here in about an hour because if I have to go all the way down to Van Buren County and back, I will find out who had that walk-off winner for Van Buren County. Baseball is starting. Oh, and Highland and Keota. Highland shut out Keota last night, 10-0 or 11-0. Also, one thing to remember when we're talking about all these baseball scores is that a lot of these kids are in the spring sports, state track, state golf, tennis, whatever. And so who knows what kind of lineups people are throwing out. I think Van Buren County had to move their game up against Mount Pleasant yesterday. It was a 5:30 game, I believe, because of... was a dance, prom, graduation, something like that. So it was a 5:30 game yesterday, Van Buren County. They played varsity, then JV, and I think they were worried about the varsity players getting done with the game, and obviously it was a knockdown, drag-out affair, 6-5 Van Buren County. So softball starts next week. So next week it's going to be a spring sports, summer sports collage, and Hunter will be back, thank goodness.
We have a correction. Washington girls soccer played Minneapolis Wednesday at the Washington Wellness Park.
Washington girls, who did I say they hosted? Clear Creek and Manna?
I think so.
Yes, sorry. Thank you. Correction from Nikki Brackets. That's why they call them Nikki Brackets.
Well, it was Sarah Grunwald.
What?
Sarah Grunwald commented.
Sarah Grunwald commented. Okay, sorry, Sarah. Yes. Mount Pleasant plays Mediapolis. We do have live watchers and a little feedback. I don't know why Mediapolis. Washington hosts Mediapolis at Washington Wellness Park on Wednesday night. I don't know why Mediapolis and Clear Creek and Manna. My brain says that they're this way and that they're orange and blue, even though those aren't two colors that are close. I was just looking at that before we started here. I thought I could do it all by my brain. But Washington and Mediapolis at Washington Wellness Park. And we're going to have a nice day tomorrow night, I think. You know something about Washington Wellness Park and East Lake Park in Mount Pleasant and Dexter Sports Complex in Fairfield? Not very good cold weather, windy atmospheres because they don't block the wind very well. So Washington girls play tomorrow. So there we go. That was Andy's attempt at doing this whole show by himself. I have 30 seconds. Thanks to Nikki Brackett. Thanks for our watchers and our listeners and our readers. For Southeast Iowa Union Sports Talk, all alone, I'm Andy Kressinger. See you next week.